It was a horrid performance by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Regina tonight. There's a lot to get to on the show. Thanks to everybody out there for joining us here on Game Day After Dark. My name is Darrin Bauming. We'll be joined momentarily by Zach Schnitzer following a 19-9 loss in CFL Week 7. And the Blue Bombers remain at 2 wins on the season. 9 points against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 19 against a backup quarterback. And we're going to deconstruct and disseminate all of it with video highlights from tonight's game. Great to see everybody in the live chat. We see you out there. Want to pull up a, and thank you for joining us as well. Want to pull up the end of the game here. And things got a little bit heated with no time on the clock. Adam Bighill decided to let his frustrations get the best of him and drive Patterson into the turf on a nothing play at the end of the game. And I think that almost emblematic of the frustrations the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are feeling right now with where their season is at. Zach Collaros is nowhere near who we know Zach Collaros is. And there's people lighting up my phone on social media, on the Bonfire hotline, 204-816-8477, 816-TIPS. Call or text. Saying he's washed up, he's done. I don't think so. Because it's not like he is bad every single play and that he can't do anything. Zach Collaros shows good and then shows bad. Shows smart, savvy, veteran, talent, and then shows poor decision-making and mistakes. It's confounding. It's confusing. It's surprising. But one way, however you slice it up, Bombers fans not feeling good about their football team right now. This wasn't a must-win game or anything like that, but after an 0-4 start and then 2 wins, one with Chris Streveler starting and it being a run-heavy offense, and then last week against a pretty, one of the weaker teams in the CFL in the Calgary Stampeders, a 41-37 victory last week, to go into Regina and put up 9 points. The penalties, the officiating tonight, we'll get into all of that. The penalties were a huge problem, both for what was called, maybe shouldn't have been, some phantom calls tonight, some awful phantom calls tonight, but also some penalties that were avoidable for the Blue Bombers that are their own fault. Quarterbacking, mistakes, mentality. I'm not looking at the defense, folks. I just got somebody on Twitter just hit me up and said, I'm calling for a new defensive coordinator. The team scored 9 points tonight and you're worried about the defense? Are you kidding me? Man, we got so much to get to. Let's get into it here on Game Day After Dark and bring in the man we all know and love, Zach Schnitzer. Your face says it all, my friend. Your face says it all. Initial thoughts following a 19-9 loss in Regina tonight for Winnipeg.
That was brutal. I'm absolutely disgusted, Darrin. Welcome back, everybody. I missed you guys last week. Football isn't the most important thing in the world.
And you know that especially tonight.
Yeah, I was watching with my mother-in-law at the hospital in palliative care. It's heartbreaking. I'm just glad I got to watch with her. So that's what really matters, and that's why I wasn't here last week, DB. And I know, thank you for being so supportive. You're a good guy. You're a good buddy. You're a
Everybody,
good
everybody,
dude.
all the Bonfire starters are pulling for you, pulling for your mother-in-law, Sarah. You know,
Yeah.
everybody is on your side and wishing you all the best, your entire family.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so it's very sad, and I'm just trying to enjoy my time with her, and we had a nice time despite this game. But this game disgusted me, and it wasn't just the refs and the phantom calls. It wasn't just the defense bending and then breaking at the worst possible time. I thought the defense was not the problem again. It was the offense, Darren, and you said it. 9 points. 9 points. I know that Riders defense is good. They have an incredible front seven. They have great DBs, particularly Rolan Milligan. I know 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚 is exceptional. He made an exceptional play on Demski. But 9 points is just inexcusable. And last thing I have to say, the game story for me is Zach Collaros. That pick, like I get it when, he gets fooled by a defense like last week when Roberson picked him off in the end zone. He didn't see him there. He didn't know it was coming. Fair enough. Zach is good for that one a game. He'll throw a pick. He's a gunslinger, and I can accept that. But he usually makes
That
up
wasn't the
for
case
it,
last
Darren.
year. Wasn't the case the year before.
But
MLP
he's always
season.
he's a gunslinger. He's usually good for one pick. He throws the ball into dangerous area. This was inexcusable. To throw back against your body at Demski, who was bracketed by two guys, and get picked off in the red zone, that is just that was the game for me, Darren. It's just inexcusable, bad decision making, and I don't even understand. Like, if anything, I get Zach Collaros aging and maybe underthrowing guys because he's losing some of that strength of youth. But how do you become a worse decision maker as you get older? And he's a smart guy. I don't understand it, Darren. I don't understand how he makes that throw in that moment. That was, you could argue, is the bonfire burning point right there.
Yeah. Taking a look at it right now in the third quarter, and this was following a critical, huge drive by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a huge touchdown drive. And Collaros makes a decision that was a little bit surprising. Watching this play live right here, I was like, okay, he had some options, but he decides to hang on to it and continue to look downfield. See here, I thought he was going to go to Wolitarsky. It's right there. You see Wolitarsky standing on the 11. But it's almost like he waits. Wolitarsky's still open.
So is Wilson, by the way, in the flat there. Easily gets 5-6 yards.
Yeah. And well, maybe. Yeah. Earlier for sure. But here he tries, as you mentioned, bracketed was Nick Demski, and that's picked off by Adam O'Clair.
You know what, though, DB? Can I just interrupt? Because I'm seeing people on the chat saying that the refs ruined this game. Give me a freaking break. Yeah, I think the refs gifted the Riders about 3 points on a bad PI call. There was a bad PI call against Tyrell Ford and against Holm, I believe, Darren. Don't blame this on the refs. Those two calls were horribly officiated, but, I think if O'Shea had his challenge, that maybe he shouldn't have thrown so early on in the game, Darren, they could have got one of the two of those back. But come on. That was not the refs. That was not the refs. That was horrible red zone turnovers by the Bombers. That is your game story. It's not the refs.
Yeah. Mike O'Shea, his decision to challenge early in the game, I would say that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Some of Collaros' throws, underthrown, those were mistakes. Penalties on offense, penalties on defense, mistakes. And I mean legit penalties, not the phantom PI calls. They went both ways. Did Winnipeg get maybe more of them to their disadvantage? Yes. But they made their own bed tonight in Regina.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things to get to in this game. I think, you know, we can let the video highlights tell the story. And also everyone in the live chat. Love how everybody is firing off their takes in here. Tico Napoli with a blazer of a take. Traded for Trey Ford. Zach won't get it done next year, and that's when we got to build for. Of course, 2025 is when the Grey Cup is here in Winnipeg. The CEBL Championship. The Sea Bears are hosting that championship weekend in 2025. And then the Grey Cup, of course, in November of 2025 at Princess Auto Stadium. That is a year like the BC Lions have loaded up for this year. You load up in anticipation of that home host Grey Cup championship. And Zach Collaros' contract, Bighill, Jefferson, a whole bunch of the veterans on this team are under contract through 2025 because they are keeping 2025 in mind. And I mean, at 2-5 now on the season, I imagine a lot of Bombers fans are thinking about 2025 already. I think that's a little foolhardy, but this is how I feel, Schnitzy. This is really how I feel. Often football teams go the way of their quarterback. And I'm not saying that all of Winnipeg's issues are caused by Zach Collaros, okay? But football teams play to the level of their quarterback. A quarterback can, you know, like a tide raises all ships. And Zach Collaros' tide is very, very low right now, and all of those ships are low in the water. It's an issue right now. It's a problem right now with the way Zach Collaros is playing. I'm not looking at the special teams too much. I'm not looking at the defense too much. Yeah, they had some big explosion plays tonight, but they held Saskatchewan to 19 points on home turf. Winnipeg's offense was bad. Brady's got talent. The legs are like pistons. I think the CFL tweeted at one point, you know, they just go, chug. Ontario Wilson shows some good things. Nice catches tonight. We'll take a look at those a little bit later. But the quarterbacking right now, week after week after week, it's not good enough.
No. And you know what concerns me, Darren? Maybe as much as the poor decision making is the underthrows. Again, at first I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, he's not underthrowing guys. Maybe the receivers just aren't in the right position. Maybe he doesn't have enough time to throw, Darren. There was a big underthrow in the first quarter. I was just going to talk about. We're in lockstep here, buddy. Unlike the Bombers' offense, in the first quarter there was another big underthrow by Collaros, and it's happened again and again and again, and I can't ignore it anymore. Too many underthrows, and it makes me wonder: has he lost some juice in his arm? I hate to say it, but is Father Time catching up with this guy?
I don't think it's an arm strength thing. I really don't think it's an arm strength thing. What do you think it is then?
What is it?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's an arm strength thing, though, because I see him make incredible throws with arm strength. It's consistency, because he makes great throws and then he makes poor throws. He makes great decisions and he makes poor decisions. Quarterbacking is all about consistency. There's a reason why some quarterbacks have incredible success in college and then they can't do it in the pros. And it's because their consistency in college was one thing. Maybe it was the system, maybe it was the talent around them, familiarity, whatever. but they get to professional football and that consistency falls off. They can make some throws. It's a reason why guys hang around. They, remain a number 2 quarterback, a number 3 quarterback, hold the clipboard. It's because they're smart, they're hard workers, they're good in the film room, they do great things, they're good teammates, and they can step into a game and make some impressive throws. They can run an offense, but can they do it consistently? That's what made Zach Collaros a perennial MOP. That's what made Ricky Ray great. That's what made, Kahari Jones great. That's what made so many of these quarterbacks we see in pro football, the ones that stick around and are perennial starters and all-stars. The good quarterbacks are the ones that can do it consistently all the time. They'll make a mistake. Remember we used to say this, Zach? We talk about Zach Collaros. Snap and clear. Mm-hmm. Get rid of it. You make a mistake, it's done with. It's behind you. I'm not saying that's the issue with Zach Collaros now, but it's the consistency that's lacking with the Blue Bombers quarterback. And I really do believe that if he can play better and the whole team can play better around him, like help each other out a little bit like good teams do, they can turn this ship around. It's a problem right now, though.
I hear you. I think you're right. Consistency is key. I'm baffled, Darren, by the regression by Zach Collaros. I just don't understand. If you don't think it's arm strength or father time catching up with him, it's inexplicable to me. Like at this point in his career, how is he making poorer decisions than when he was a rookie? And why is he holding onto the ball so long? Are all his receivers covered? Because it looked like almost every deep ball opportunity was covered by the Riders. I know they have a very good secondary and they have an excellent defense. I'm not taking away anything from the Riders here, Darren, but I don't understand. And when your leading receiver and receptions leader in the game is your running back, like Oliveira, credit to him. He played a whale of a game, and I didn't mind the game plan of a quick passing attack, but I don't understand what's happened to Zach. And quarterback is the most important position in sports, especially in the CFL when you only have 3 downs. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it, and I almost think it's time to maybe put Streveler in a little more. I be like that might be hyperbole on maybe a knee-jerk reaction, Darren, but
this is what I think about the Streveler thought of yours. If the Blue Bombers are going to be successful, and I think they have everything, they have everything of a championship team. There's a reason why this team on paper looks a lot like it did last year. And I don't want to hear the age thing. We're not seeing like, if there's a guy or two, like maybe Adam Bighill has lost a step for sure. He's not playing particularly well, but the age thing is to me a little bit dumb because I don't think Zach Collaros is making bad decisions because he's a year older. He's healthy. I think his arm's fine. His legs are fine. Stanley. Yeah, he's up there. He's played pro football for a long time, but I don't see him being a huge problem. Willie Jefferson is just as good, I think, as he's ever been. Right? Brandon Alexander, is he the same impact he was 3 years ago? No,
he's not.
But I don't think it's like the team is playing poor because of all these quote unquote old guys. They're getting old. I think that's true. They are getting old, but I don't think it's the reason why they're playing poorly. I really don't. That doesn't pass the sniff test for me at all.
I agree, Darren.
Jeffrey says I'm in denial. T. Will says it's totally an age thing. Mischievous Wolf says Zach Collaros is not healthy.
I don't know about that.
And ZTM watching live on YouTube. What's going on, ZTM? Haven't seen you in the live chat before. Welcome. Streveler will win you games in July versus Edmonton, but not in October and November. Don't fall for that BS. Lemon Straw says, hey, DB, most players regress in their mid-30s. Yep. Waiters. Evan Holm played bad. He's 27. Age is irrelevant. Great comments for everybody in the live chat tonight. And apologies, been having a bit of a snag with Twitter. Unable to stream to Schnitzy's Twitter, mine, Chris WALBY'S, the Bonfire Sports Twitter, but we are live on Instagram. If you're watching on Instagram right now, head over to YouTube and catch us there. All of our social media handles, Bonfire WPG, so you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it. Not on TikTok. You're welcome. Before we get into a couple more things tonight, Schnitzy, we should definitely draw attention to our awesome sponsors that help us so much, including the beautiful Scotswood Links in Elm Creek, Manitoba. Scotswoodlinks.com. That's Scotswood with 1 T. Just an outstanding course that is worth the quick drive. 30 minutes west of Winnipeg. You don't want to sleep on this course, okay? I mean, hey, if you end up taking a nap there because you had a couple too many cold ones, as Walby would say, you had too many coldies, maybe you do want to sleep on this course. But of course, you're going to have more fun golfing it. A prairie meadow front 9, a prairie forest back 9. They have done so many upgrades and work to this course, changing holes, moving water hazards and that sort of thing. It's challenging, it's fun, it's dynamic and different. You're really going to enjoy it. Gorgeous, expansive, brand new clubhouse, restaurant, lounge, perfect patios. You're going to love it there. Check them out, scotswoodlinks.com. And if you go to scotswoodlinks.com/bonfire, you'll get essentially like a coupon, a discount code for a foursome with power carts. I think you'll get 30% off. But even better, if you hit the live chat right now, skip the live chat, text the Bonfire hotline, 204-816-8477. That's 816-TIPS. Text your email address. Send me your email address via text to the Bonfire hotline, and I will pick somebody for a free foursome with power carts at the beautiful Scotswood Links in Elm Creek. You want to talk about Adam Bighill? Because what I'm seeing from him is, I think, the frustration, like we talked about right off the top, Schnitzy. I think he's probably frustrated with how the team's playing and with how he's playing individually, like himself. I don't doubt Zach Collaros is frustrated with himself too. But I'm seeing Adam Bighill's game regress. He still does some amazing things, but other areas he's definitely struggling. Of course, one of the things he does better than anybody is this at the line of scrimmage and timing the hits in short yardage. I think Patterson ended up picking up this first down, but Bighill lays a nice smack on Patterson, who stays in as the starting quarterback in short yardage. But I don't know, Schnitzy. I know you've been trying to tell me for a long time now. Here's a look at Bighill at the top. As Glenn Suter in the TSN broadcast very excellently points out. You've been saying it for a long time, Schnitzy. Maybe Adam Bighill's best football is behind him. I think it's starting to show.
Yeah, I agree. I think, look, he's been an unbelievable player for us, Darrin. He turned around this defense in 2018 when he came to the Bombers, and he's had 2 most outstanding defensive player awards since he came to Winnipeg. Way up there on number of tackles in CFL history. I'm not sure where he is, but he's definitely
one sack short of joining the 50-500 club. Right. That's 50 sacks, 500 tackles. It's only 2 players who have ever done that.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player. He's maybe even a Ring of Honor player for the Bombers, but he's not the same player. And I hate to say it, mostly because I'm scared he's going to see me on the street and just kill me with one finger. Because I still think
he's too high of a character individual. There's no
I
way
know,
he would do
but
that.
I don't think he's the same guy anymore. He missed a tackle tonight. That was pretty bad. He missed a tackle on Chad Kelly in the Grey Cup in 2022, Darren, on the second and
Dude, I mean,
15.
players miss tackles, man.
But Bighill didn't used to miss tackles, and he didn't used to miss tackles in the biggest spots. And this has been happening for a couple of years, in my opinion, from just watching him. Does he still make great plays? Yeah. But honestly, Darren, I see him often what they're doing with him in terms of play calling, Jordan Younger, he seems to have him trying to rush the passer. Like and he just I see him a lot on a blitz, and he just runs into a wall. He
Well,
runs
when they
into
do
the
the
wall.
jailbreak blitz, we saw that late in the game.
But you see him just run into the wall of the offensive line. So I just don't think he's the same player. Like Ouellette came in, the Saskatchewan running back. He came in with about a 3.7 yard average. Tonight he had over 5 yard average, 88 yards, 17 carries for 88 yards. That I'm not saying that's all on Bighill, but the Riders were with a rookie quarterback. You need to get good running production on first down, and they did. The Riders did, and they the Bombers on the opposite side did not, mostly with Brady. They had a couple 10-yard runs or so, but the first down production from the Riders was good, and it gave Patterson easier looks on second and short. I'm
Can
not
I
saying
show
that's all
you?
on Biggie.
Can I show you Adam Bighill? You say it's like he hits a wall when he's blitzing. Here's Adam Bighill, right in the middle of your screen, blitzing. And yeah, he hits a wall because an offensive lineman picks him up, which leaves Garbutt on the edge free. Tackle has to come inside. You always leave the guy on the outside. You leave someone free on the inside, they're going to have the shortest path to the quarterback. That's what a linebacker is supposed to do when they blitz. They're not going to get to they often don't get to the quarterback. It's about numbers. So look, the right tackle lines up on Garbutt here on the right side, and he has to take the guy on the inside. That's Bighill's job. So it's not always, well, he's not the same player he always was because when he blitzes, he hits a wall. Like, I mean, football's more dynamic than one-on-one opportunities, right? Just for, contextual sake.
That's fair. You make a good point, and then you backed it up with your freaking video evidence. What am I supposed to say to that? I'm just saying on a lot of play calls on the defense, I see him running into an O lineman, and yeah, you're right. That's a numbers thing, and that's a fair point. I don't see him making a difference, Darren.
You know
He
who is making a
making
difference,
a
though?
difference on defense, and he used to.
You know who is making a difference? Kyrie Wilson.
Oh my God, that was an unbelievable tackle.
He is doing so many good things right now. Kyrie Wilson is stuffing the run. He's covering well in pass coverage. Here he is coming off the right edge and just says no. Sheds a block. Like, look, he's got the blocker just like draped on him. Look at this blocker. Offensive lineman. Wilson finds a way to get the leverage to release from the blocker. And this blocker is just like essentially tackling Kyrie Wilson while Kyrie Wilson tackles the ball carrier. I think it is a very, very good thing that Kyrie Wilson has elevated his game year after year after year, and he is now entering his prime. So it'll be like, I'm sure this conversation will continue for months about Bighill, the amount of snaps he gets, starting at middle linebacker, and then the rest of the guys that they're bringing in, right? Tony Jones has been making the roster lately, dressed for the game today. Number 33, I think he is. Brian Cole is somebody who has played weak side linebacker before when Bighill was hurt and Kyrie Wilson kicked to the middle. I don't, this is difficult for me to talk about, because I don't know if Winnipeg is going to make that change and put a healthy Adam Bighill on the sideline. But
there's no way. There's no way they're going to do that.
But this isn't the issue here. This is not the issue.
It's not the biggest issue. You're right.
At all.
No.
Yeah.
The biggest issue is Zach Collaros, and it's not even close.
Yeah. Here's a look at a near interception by. Hey, Schnitzy, do you remember? Well, maybe, you know what? I remember I drafted your fantasy team this year. Not to get into a fantasy conversation, but during the fantasy draft, all your buddies were like, well, who's the best DB on Saskatchewan? They name one guy, they name another guy. And I'm like, nope, it's not him. Nope, it's not him. It's this guy. It's Rolan Milligan. Doing it on special teams, leading the CFL in interceptions, and nearly picked off Zach Collaros here in the third quarter. Now, not a terrible football, not a great one either. I think we'll get a better look at it. Milligan just makes a great play, stepping in on the pass. I think we maybe get a better look at the break. The break being when Milligan puts his foot in the dirt and goes to the football. There were some plays tonight that were on Zach Collaros. That's one that I would say was as good a play by Milligan as it was maybe not the best throw for Zach Collaros. Sometimes the other team makes a good play. It's not always just unforced errors and a mistake. But Winnipeg was really fortunate to escape from that. You got a bonfire burning point tonight? I mean, we've touched on a lot of them, Schnitzy.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm still so pissed off, Darrin. This game, I don't know why. This game really pissed me off. And I know I'm yelling, so I'm actually pulling like a veteran move here, broadcasting move, and I'm pulling back from the mic because that's been someone who was coaching me up a little bit that I'm a bit of a yeller, but this game pissed me off. It pissed me off. I don't know if it was the combination of the reffing, scoring 9 points, and anytime, and this actually is a segue into my burning point, Darrin. Anytime the Bombers turn the ball over in the red zone, pisses me off. I get it that other teams get takeaways. It's not like you just give the ball away, but I think the Bombers gave this game away. Red zone interception by Zach Collaros to a bracketed Nick Demski. And then to me, the bonfire burning point, Nick Demski is basically running free to the end zone. The Bombers are down 7 late in the fourth quarter, down 16-9. All of a sudden, you have this magical comeback in enemy territory in Saskatchewan, and Jameer Thurman tracks him down, and Demski coughs up the ball. And that was the game. Yeah. You cannot fumble the ball at that point. You've got to hold on tight. You've got to know your surroundings. You have to know who's around you, who's behind you, who's chasing you down. 2:44 left. That's the game. And the Riders that's a 6-point swing at least. The Riders go down and kick a field goal to basically ice the game. That was my burning point, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm going to go with you on that being the bonfire burning point. Can I just, real quickly, I want to go back to that play in a second. CFL 60 OG on YouTube says the Ontario-Saskatchewan border was closed. Great comment. And great handle on YouTube, OG.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course, TSN Radio. My first show. How about that? Thanks for that.
But not your last show, buddy. Not your last show.
Well, no, I got this one with you, buddy. Game Day After Dark on Bonfire Sports. Big thanks to everybody for joining us. Love the comments in the live chat. You guys bring such great value to this show. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet. If you're watching on Instagram, head over to YouTube. Our social media handle for everything is at BonfireWPG. And you can find everything on bonfiresports.ca. This is what's cool. bonfiresports.ca/Spotify. That'll take you to our Spotify page and you can subscribe to the podcast there. /Apple, take you to Apple Podcasts. /Twitter, it'll take you to Twitter. Maybe you go /X, bonfiresports.ca/X. Oh yeah, it'll take you to that same Twitter page. /YouTube or /Facebook. That's how you'll find us. bonfiresports.ca/whatever.
/whatever. I like it.
Try to make it easy.
Hey, Darren, someone in the chat said, I think it's, I don't know, was it Waiters here? Demski has fumbled 3 games in a row. I know he fumbled last game, and I think Brady fell on it, so they didn't lose the ball. Waiters, yeah. And thank you, Waiters27, for always posting the games on YouTube so I can watch them. You rock, buddy.
Don't get him in trouble now.
Whatever. You think someone in the CFL is... Yeah, I guess someone in the CFL could be listening.
What do you mean could be? All my friends in Toronto are watching. No, I want to mention this. On that Demski fumble play, okay? I'm just going to pull this up here. This was the previous play, where he hit Ontario Wilson. I want you to watch the throw Zach Collaros makes. Has time in the pocket. It's perfect. It's a great throw.
Yeah, it was.
And this is what I was talking about off the top of the show. He does some very good things. And look, he makes that throw look so freaking easy. Watch how casual Collaros is in the pocket. This is vintage Zach Collaros. Chilling, just throws it up there, perfectly placed over the linebacker in front of the safety. But Jameer Thurman makes a huge play to punch that ball out. That's what's so confusing, confounding. I know I like that word. I use it a lot.
Do you? I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, it's confounding. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's a good word. I just haven't heard you say it a lot.
Yeah. Here's another great throw from Zach Collaros tonight. Okay? Watch this one. This was in the fourth quarter, following Saskatchewan's touchdown drive. 9 plays, 63 yards it was.
Oh, that was a
great catch. Yeah. The throw was so good. That is such a great throw from the Blue Bombers quarterback. Zach Collaros still makes all the throw. Don't tell me arm strength isn't there. You can't make that throw. That ball is perfectly placed. I know Wilson had to climb the ladder and get up there to get it. Okay. But that's where you want the ball to be because nobody else can catch it. Only your young
he still makes great throws, Darren, but you gotta wonder about his propensity to underthrow guys this year.
Yeah,
it's happened almost every game. Like you say, his arm strength is there, and you have video evidence that it is there. I think he's capable, but why is he underthrowing guys again and again and again? Is it the pressure that's getting to him?
He's making mistakes.
Is it an injury? Is it
losing
strength in his arm? I don't know.
No, it's not.
So what is it? Inconsistency, you said. Well, why?
$1 million question.
Why?
$20 million question. Hit up the live chat. What do you think the X factor is here? Love to hear your comments in the live chat.
This guy's the highest paid player in the CFL. He can't be underthrowing guys like that.
I hate bringing salary into the conversation.
Why? He's getting paid that money for a reason. He needs to freaking own up to it. He needs to play to his potential, Darren.
There's a reason know that, but we're trying to figure out why he's playing this way and bringing up, he's the highest paid. Do you know why he's the highest paid player in the league? Because he has been the best player in the league and he's not this year. That's it. So how much money he makes is based on his previous performance. That's how it works in pro sports.
And his current performance is not living up to his previous performance.
And in no pro sports is your salary going to change based on how you're playing that day. That's what I'm saying. It's irrelevant to the conversation.
7 games, Darren. It's 2-5. He's 2-5. As O'Shea says, winning is a quarterback stat. The quarterback's job is to win. That's their job, is to win.
Tamsin Partridge thinks it's a mental problem for Zach Collaros. I think I went to elementary school with Tamsin. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Tamsin.
Thanks for joining us.
I like how she just said mental, like no context, just mental.
Well, like, what is it?
Maybe mental. She's talking about you and me being mental. Probably
could be.
Me.
Yeah, that
probably
you know
me.
What? Tamsin does. She knows me, so it could very well be that. Somebody asked a little bit earlier. Here it is. Everett Left says, when is Lucky Whitehead dressing? When does Kenny Lawler return? I thought both would be in the lineup tonight, says Everett Left. Kenny Lawler still needs some time. The Bombers are in Toronto next week. They're home to BC on August 1st. Then they have a bye. And then they're in Vancouver week 11. That's August 18th. August 18th is probably when we're going to see the return of Kenny Lawler. Yeah. As far as Lucky Whitehead, I mean, he's been here 2 weeks, week and a half. It takes longer. It takes time. And whose spot is he taking? Yeah. Saw this earlier from Winnipeg Gordo. How heavy is Adam Bighill right now? 260 pounds? Hell no. Ridiculous. Adam Bighill is in the same physical condition he has always been in. Exemplary, outstanding physical condition. He is not 260 pounds. Yeah. Need to quash some things sometimes, Schnitzy. You know how it is?
Quash it.
Yeah. Your WALBY Warrior tonight here on Game Day After Dark.
Well, my WALBY Warrior always, as it has been the last few games, is my mother-in-law, who's courageously battling cancer. So she's my warrior. She stayed up the whole game, watched the game with me, gave me crap for being so negative, as she always does.
Good for her. Love that.
Yeah, so she's my warrior. But if I had to give it to someone else, and people might hate me for this because I'm going to the other side, Darren, but Shea Patterson, that was a big pressure game at home. Mm-hmm. They hadn't lost at home, right? They had just come off their first loss of the season. They're up against sort of a storied franchise in the past few years in the Bombers. Bombers were favored. And Shea Patterson outdueled Zach Collaros tonight, I think. Especially in the second half. I thought Shea Patterson played really well. He was poised. He didn't make the big mistake. No interceptions. He had the one touchdown. I think he outdueled Zach Collaros, and he had a rookie right tackle, their best defensive lineman. Jamarcus Ardrick was out. Didn't matter. Did he make a ton of like big time long bomb throws? No. A lot of it was short stuff. Kind of like me, short stuff.
It's your boy Bruce. How do Schnitzy and DB know each other anyway? Well, we know each other from Bonfire Sports.
That's right.
And that's
plus
actually
we're long lost brothers. Yeah, that is true.
That is
there's no like we didn't like grow up together.
No.
You know,
I don't even really like you.
If you would have met me earlier, you wouldn't have liked me. It's good that we didn't meet each other till recently, but yeah, man, Shea Patterson. What are his? I don't actually even know his final stats. I can pull them up.
I'm pulling them up right here.
261 yards, 17 of 25, and a TD. That's a good completion percentage. I don't know what that percentage is because I can't do math that well in 68. My head. 68 per like 200. Oh, that's 278. You've got the updated stats. 278 against a good Bomber defense.
That was
they also have
probably
him for a pick.
AJ Ouellette's best game this year. 6 yards a carry
Yeah,
for 72 on the ground.
yeah. So
Uh,
I thought Patterson was a real warrior. Good for him. Good for the kid.
oh, you know what? That is the wrong stat line. I apologize, everybody. That was the wrong stat line. That was from last week. Patterson. Oh, yeah.
261. Yeah, there you go.
68%.
Yeah, still 68%.
Yeah, how about that? 68% 2 weeks in a row. And AJ Ouellette, more yards than last week, but average a little bit down. So, he's playing a lot better than he was earlier this year. A 𝘎𝙥𝙧𝙯,
Yeah.
who is just an incredible athletic talent, had some huge plays. Apologies for the glitches here tonight. Had some huge plays when Saskatchewan needed it. And he stepped in when Cian Schaefer-Baker went down to injury in the first half. Some people were asking about Brady Oliveira's numbers tonight. On the ground, Brady had 9 carries for 49 yards. 5.4 yards per carry is pretty good. But it was 9 catches on 9 targets for 80 yards. Yeah, it was the check down game. He's averaging 9 yards per catch because he's so good with the ball in his hands, running after the catch in the backfield, the screen game, the check down game. A large of 20, as Zach Schnitzer says. But look at this. 2 second down conversions in the receiving game tonight. Zach Collaros goes 20 of 31 for 266. No touchdowns once again. An interception, nearly 2. But if you look at Winnipeg's offensive stats, 14 first downs, it's bad. That's really bad. 33% on second down conversion rate, awful. Saskatchewan wasn't much better, really at all. But it's because they were going first down to the tune of 19 tonight. Also not a huge number. Net offense. Winnipeg had 46 plays, 7 yards per play, 322 net yards of offense. I mean, that's great, but when you turn the ball over, a lot of that goes down the tube. This number was really something. Saskatchewan with 132 on the ground to Winnipeg's 65. Winnipeg was not going to win this game being outrushed by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The biggest issue, I think, for the Blue Bombers, where did they go? Were penalties. How come I can't find them? Oh yeah, of course. The next one over. It doesn't look like a lot, but 6 penalties for 81 yards for the Blue Bombers tonight. Schnitzy, it's a number that Winnipeg, that's double what Winnipeg would like to have. 35, 40 yards of penalties. I think Mike O'Shea can handle that, but when it gets up to 80 and 100, and they were as costly as they were, like when they happened, that's a killer. Turnovers. Yep. Turnovers and penalties. It'll get you every time.
Yep.
I can tell you're a little bit shook.
I just don't even have much else to say on that. Like it was just 3 turnovers. Last game they won, they created 3 turnovers against Calgary, and they just, you can't, especially in the red zone, you can't cough it up like that. You cannot cough it up like that, Darrin, in the red zone. You're not going to win many football games.
Yeah. Time of possession asked Andrew Haleko. Hey, Andrew. How you doing, man? Good to see you again. Time of possession was 27:37 to 32:23. So about 5 minutes in the Roughriders' favor tonight. Oh, there we go.
Where did we go? There we
and
go.
Of course, powered by Genius Sports.
Hey, they've come around, right? The stats haven't been so bad.
Yeah, it's the timing of it all, right? Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when the Blue Bombers lose. You start getting criticism from Winnipeg, like at all angles, right? Do you want to talk about some of the phantom penalties we saw tonight?
Yeah, there was I think there was a bad holding call against Kyrie Wilson. There was a bad PI call. The one against Tyrell Ford was particularly, it might be this one right here. Like what? They bump, they're both playing the football. Like, what is the call there? Like, it was, and that led to a field goal. So that was really, really costly for the Bombers there in a tight game.
Yeah.
I just don't even know what the refs like. I wish the command center could review some of these automatically and just get them to pick up the flag.
The fact is, like, look, there's hand fighting. There's lots of stuff that happens. This is the penalty. See Trey Ford's hand? He gets to Emilis's shoulder and he pushes him. Where's the ball?
Balls, like, it's not a catchable
The ball is not here. The ball is up here. Way up here in the lights. Well overthrown. Not a catchable football. So a little shove like that, if the ball was like arriving and catchable, okay, I'd kind of understand it. But that is just I'll just say it, piss poor penalty call there.
Yeah.
Here's one on Evan Holm. In the fourth quarter. And this one a little bit different because it was kind of an incidental. Okay. Here, just let me get rid of this one here. This was a little bit more of an incidental contact, a Joe. But how that is a defensive pass interference penalty, I do not understand. I don't. If you watch it in real time, it's hard because the camera kind of gets there late. But, like, does Evan Holm look like that's an incidental PI?
I honestly don't even
football.
see the incidental. I don't even see the incidental there, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, their legs hit each other, right?
You think? I don't see it.
Yeah, their legs are crossed up there. You can kind of see it in this angle.
I only see their legs hit once a Joe jumps into the air.
Mm-hmm. But defensive pass interference.
That's brutal.
And we've talked about it too on this show before, Schnitzy. A lot of people are like, Andre Proulx, he's so bad. I have it on good authority that Andre Proulx, now look, tonight was a bad night for that crew. Okay. Bad night for Zach Collaros, bad night for the Blue Bombers. Bad night for the officiating crew. No question. But I have it on good authority that Andre Proulx is the highest rated official in Canadian football. He is one of the best refs, if not the best ref, the CFL has. So just hear a lot of criticism of Andre Proulx through the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. I think it's because of his accent. I honestly do, because he sometimes fumbles his words in English. He knows English better than I know French. And I know sometimes he says, like, instead of third, he'll say turd, which is funny. It's
Turd down. Yeah.
Turd down. But he's a good ref. He's refed many Grey Cups for a reason, Darren. And, I mean, is it his fault that his side judges were the ones that called these phantom calls? Is that really his fault? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Is that his fault?
The football
I don't know enough about the
huge.
ins and outs.
One guy can't see everything, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad night for the team. Turd and tree. As I was just reading a comment here. Who was that?
Turd and Tree.
JW Bartel. Turd and
Turd
Tree.
and Tree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, I'm kind of with you, Schnitzy. I'm not huge on making fun of people's accents, especially in Canada where French is an official language, just as official as Canadian is to speak. I had this video pulled up. I wanted to show this. 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙧𝙯 Patterson has done a lot of good things as you know, both in the preseason for the Roughriders and in the regular season. This is Willie Jefferson, one-on-one. And 𝘎𝙤 just dips him. That was sick. Yep. 𝘎𝙤 Patterson's got feet on him, man. Just watch Patterson's feet. Try not to watch Willie. Watch those white cleats. That's a 6'7" QB killer. And they are on an island together. And Patterson's like, whoop. That's nuts, man. I'm giving a game ball to 𝘎𝙤 Patterson. He made some awesome plays. Awesome plays tonight.
I hate to say it, you're giving it to a rider, but I can't fault you with that pick, buddy. And he had 35 yards rushing too, so he was able to do it on the ground.
Want to pull up this one, and first of all, TSN, love the cable cam shot here. How awesome is that? I hope this game was on CBS Sportsnet in the U.S. Maybe not for the sake of the way the Blue Bombers played, but for a lot of the broadcast. This was such a great play call.
Yeah.
By the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, it was.
𝘎𝙤 Patterson, play fake, jet sweep. That keeps Willie Jefferson honest. And the camera guy nearly missed it. That's how good the play fake was.
Yeah, it's like a 22-yard run?
Big chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. JW made Willie look slow. That ain't easy to do. That ain't easy to do. Sign guy getting a little bit snarky tonight. Game ball to the refs.
Is he sign guy anymore, though? Is he sign guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he's hung up the cleats on sign guy.
Maybe.
He has.
Let us know. Let us know in the live chat there.
Come on, Donnie Crookshank. What's going on there? Why'd you hang up the cleats on sign guy? Went to the Grey Cup with you. Come on.
Then there. Go ahead.
Nah, I don't have anything else than that. I just had a Grey Cup with Donnie. See, I love the guy. Had him on my podcast. Great set of pipes on him. Like just natural talent, just screaming at the opposition. But I think he's kind of hung up the cleats on sign guy.
Breaking news here on Game Day After Dark. Look at this bull rush from 𝘎𝙤 Garbett. I thought 𝘎𝙤 Garbett showed why he would have been a week 1 starter on the Blue Bombers D line had he not be injured in training camp. 𝘎𝙤 Garbett's got game. I think this bodes incredibly well for the Blue Bombers defensive front. Not that the defense is the issue at all, but 𝘎𝙤 Garbett showed some really, really good things. Mm-hmm. That was one nice bull rush he had. I really like this play too. And Willie Jefferson ends up getting the sack. But watch Garbett on the top. He gets home and allows Willie to finish the job. Yeah. This is what was really interesting to me, Schnitzy. Did you notice this? Willie Jefferson normally plays the left side of the defensive line. He plays left rush end. They switched him. There's Willie J on the right side of the D line. Garbett up against Brammer, the rookie right tackle. Both offensive tackles for Saskatchewan are rookies, by the way. But Brammer coming in, it was like, you know what? We're gonna get you in the film room. We're gonna study you up. We're gonna cram all night. You're gonna learn everything about Willie Jefferson. And then suddenly, he doesn't have Willie Jefferson. Brammer had to handle 𝘎𝙤 Garbett. And a great, like, it was kind of like a hybrid swim rip move. Swim is like, you're doing the overhand stroke and you're trying to, the overhead, front stroke, and you're trying to get past the lineman. And then a rip is more like an underhand, like a uppercut punch. And he just rips past Bremer and allows Willie to get to the quarterback. Great play here from 𝘽𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙨. He's got game, man. I like Garbutt a lot.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good, Darrin. He had a couple of good plays, and I mean, like you've said, the defense has not been the problem this year. I think the defense has kept them in all the games. Even the Montreal game, they held Montreal to 27 points, and that was at a late flea flicker play. I think the defense has been fine. In fact, I think they've been pretty good at times, but having that D line needs to get more pressure. They don't track pressures anymore, but I don't think they've had a ton of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. But yeah, I think it's great that Garbutt's in there, and maybe he can generate a little more of a pass rush from the Bomber D line.
Well, I thought this was great pressure from the D line overall. We'll watch the play again. Late in the second quarter, that's Devin Adams, I believe, nearly getting there. And here's rookie Tyrell Bonds getting an interception, but it was negated by penalty. And who was that penalty on? 𝘽𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙨.
Oh, was it on Garbutt? I thought that was one on Wilson.
Yeah, it was a defensive hold. You don't see that too often, but defensive holding.
Yeah.
On 𝘽𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙨. Yeah. So, his first game since late last season for the Blue Bombers. He's had a very interesting path to where he is today. He was in training camp last year with Winnipeg, 2023. Got injured, went home, came back, joined the practice roster late in the season. Garbutt then dressed and played in that nothing game in Calgary last season. Remember, Drew Brown got the start? Garbutt played in that game. Comes to training camp this year. Plays in the preseason game. Gets hurt against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, coincidentally, in the preseason. They 6-game him. And I think you see here why Winnipeg was patient with 𝘽𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙨. He's got a lot of good qualities.
He does. Garbutt is not garbage. He's good.
No, he's pretty good. I'll give him a game ball tonight.
Pretty good.
Pretty.
You're doing game balls already. You're like we skipped Happy Honker. We skipped.
Oh, you want the Happy
Westwood
Honker?
wide to the right.
Yeah. Well, I think we know what Westwood wide to the right is.
Do we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we know. I think we did touch on it. We know.
I think we did. I think we did too.
Westwood wide to the right tonight. Phantom calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Hey, do you want to talk about that challenge, that early challenge from 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙨, Darrin?
If you want to, yeah.
Where he challenges that there wasn't a fumble on the play. He's looking for the fumble, and the call stands.
Tell me what you think.
So the ruling on the field was that it was an incomplete pass. When you slowed it down, it looked like it might have been a fumble. I just think it was so early in the game, and you need incontrovertible evidence to overturn it. And it didn't look like there were great camera angles on it from what you saw on TV anyway. So I wonder how good of I mean, I guess, it's a turnover, right? So it's a big play, but it was early in the first quarter. And I think not that it would have necessarily changed the game, but given the phantom calls, 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙨 could have used those challenges, let's just say. I thought the risk, I didn't think he was necessarily wrong. I thought it was a catch and a fumble, personally. But I didn't know if the risk reward at that point in the game was worth it.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
That's well put. I'm just going to play Saskatchewan's essentially it was the game-winning drive. Just while we talk about a couple other points in this one, the defense. Look, Schnitzy, the fans are going to say the thing that they noticed in the game. Our job here on the post game is to help put things into context and really help identify the major issues with this 2-5 football team. Okay. You cannot win a football game scoring 9 points. Winnipeg's offense has struggled all season long. And in good and in bad, you go by the quarterback. People won't like the defense. I got people in the live chat here saying, talk about Dekes, Blue Bombers rookie returner who made his debut tonight. T. Conapoli wants to give Castillo a game ball. I'm with you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hammer to 57. Missed from 61. Saw him hit from 61. I think it was exactly 61 in practice this week. Slinging Sammy. Good to see you in the live chat, Sammy. D is still learning JY's system, that being Jordan Younger, the defensive coordinator. Fine. 19 points against. I don't care who they were playing. Backup quarterback, this, that, the other. They were on the road in a rivalry game. They scored 9 points. You should win football games when all you got to do is score 20 in the CFL. It's your boy Bruce. That's why he's your boy. You only give up 19. You give your team a chance to win, says it's your boy Bruce.
Yep. Remus is here. He's saying the wide to the right was the interception. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a fair argument could be made for that as a wide to the right.
Yep. Okay. I like that. Good to see you, Remo. Staying up late with the two young ones in his growing family. Bomber fan says Wilson needs another 13 catch game to balance out the drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sign guy or the former sign guy. Lucky Whitehead in for Dekes. Sure. Maybe.
Can I say, Dekes I don't think was a problem tonight. I was really watching to see what he would do because Winnipeg is still the only team in the CFL not to get a big play return. They're only team. They have no big play returns this year in 7 games. Well, 6 games. I don't know if they had the big play return. How do they define big play return? Is it 30 plus, Darren, on kickoff?
I honestly don't.
Because he had a 38-yard large of 38 yards. He had a large of 38 yards on a. He had one return near the end of the game for 38. So that's pretty good. But I honestly didn't see any holes for him, really.
Agreed.
I didn't see any lanes. I don't think he missed anything. I just don't think there was anything there.
Nope. I don't think there's anything wrong with the returners as an individual. Collectively, I don't know. Winnipeg's not really creating much for their returners. Doesn't matter who it is. Myron Mitchell, remember him? Chris Smith, remember him?
Yeah, I thought
remember
Smith
him?
Okay.
Like it's been a it's been a carousel. It's been a what do you call it? A rotating door, a revolving door.
Revolving door.
Yes, of course.
A confounding
door. At the
door.
Bay downtown, a revolving door.
A revolving confounding door.
Yes.
I don't even. People are saying I miss Janarian Grant, Jonathan Thompson here on the chat. I don't know. Would Janarian Grant be able to do anything? There's no holes. I mean, I thought Myron Mitchell was the weakest of the three. I thought he kind of danced around, and he dropped the ball. He put the ball on the turf in the first game, but I thought Chris Smith was average. I think Dekes is average, but it's hard to say whether they're average because I'm just arguing with myself at this point. It's hard to say if they're average at this point because There's no, I don't see any lanes for them. But
Mhm.
Cody Case had an average of 29 yards on kickoff returns.
Yeah.
Now he only had 3, and it's skewed a bit because of the 138-yarder. But nice cut, by the way. Where's mine? 29 on kickoffs is pretty good. Anything over 21 or 22 is pretty good.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't think I was hoping for more from Case or more from that return team, but I don't know.
Yep. Sard says Janarian Grant creates his own holes. But he's had injuries issues the last few years, so you can't blame the team for looking to move on from him, says Sard. Yep. I agree with the latter part of that comment. Some other people in the live chat mentioning that, Janarian Grant, good returners, they make their own holes. Sorry.
So
They
many
make
places
small
you could go with
holes
that.
bigger. And by small, I mean the timing of the holes, right? Like if you create a hole for a ball carrier, it closes. If you're fast, you're smart, you got twitch, you're quick, you can take advantage of that hole versus it disappearing real quick. But I don't think the returner singular is the issue for the Blue Bombers. Woes in the return game.
At least their kick coverage has been light years better than last year, Darren? Seemed like last year teams were starting on the Bombers 50 after every kickoff return.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm almost
I think
running
they're
out of
gonna.
answers here, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure Mike O'Shea, his entire staff, I am sure of this, that they are sitting up tonight trying to figure out what's going on. The same way that they've been sitting up late at night for the past few weeks. And like, yeah, they were coming off 2 wins, but this is a tireless staff. They're putting in the work. But when your quarterback is playing poorly and your O-line is playing poorly and you're turning the ball over, guys are making mistakes, guys are taking penalties. You can't seem to get anything going, a little bit of punch, a little bit of juice in the return game. This is what happens. You lose 19-9 on the road.
Yeah.
I honestly am very surprised that we're here. Do you want to give out your happy honker?
I'm looking that, Darren. Again, we're simpatico. We're in sync, buddy.
Okay. Who you got?
My happy honk again. People are gonna hate me for this one, Darren. My happy honker actually goes to the Rider fans tonight. There was questions about their loyalty to their team. They had an undefeated team up until last week, anyway. 23,000 fans made it out to the last home game. They have a good team, and people were starting to talk. And trust me, I liked it. I love hearing that people were questioning the faithfulness of Rider fans. But it was the lowest crowd, I think, in New Mosaic history. And tonight, it was 30,000 plus came out on a beautiful, sweltering, maybe Friday night. That gets my happy honker. I loved, because I'm a CFL fan, as are you, Darren, as are all the people in the chat. You don't want to see, of all places, New Mosaic have less than stellar crowds. It was a good crowd. That's great. That's great for the CFL. You have a team like Edmonton, who's used to be the crown jewel of the CFL, getting sold to private ownership, right? You don't
Could
want to
be a
see
good thing.
anything like that in Regina. Could be, but I think it's because of their lagging fan support, which I don't blame the fans there. They lost again tonight, 0-6. But I thought it was nice to see that many Rider fans turn out. That's my happy honker. Okay. What's yours?
I'll give it to Chris Tomofachuk. Another leg in his journey across Canada, taking in all these games, setting a new Guinness World Record or whatever it is. The important part is he's doing it for cancer research, which is
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Near and
that's my
dear to
happy
my
honker
heart.
tonight.
Very
Oh,
good.
Winnipeg Gordo. Well done, Gordo. Sergio Castillo, the happy honker. 4 straight games Sergio Castillo has hit a field goal of 50 plus. 4 straight games. When he hit this, Schnitzy, I said, it is official. It is the year of the kicker in the CFL. What Shaun White is doing, what Sergio Castillo is doing, maybe not Boris Beatty, maybe not what he's doing.
Rene Paredes is still perfect.
Rene Paredes is perfect. Lewis Ward is kicking the lights out. Even the punting in the CFL has been very, very good this year. It's the year of the kicker. So as Sergio hits from 56 yards to get 4 straight games of 50 plus, and the team's like rolling him out for 60 plus yarders, that's a happy honker.
Absolutely. And honestly, he gets my one Winnipeg Blue Bomber game ball goes to Sergio Castillo for just by virtue of hitting a 57-yarder is incredible on the road.
Yeah.
Tough place to play, lots of crowd noise. Hits a 57-yarder again, and I think he's now 5 of 7 beyond 50. Until he hit the 61-yarder, he was 5 of 6 beyond 50. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's almost like kickers get better with age.
Like a fine wine.
Shaun White is 36, no, 37. And he's had an outstanding season, maybe his best yet. So accurate, so dang good. And they were talking on the broadcast the other night. I think it was last week. Yeah, I watched the Saskatchewan BC game from last week. I watched it last night. And they were talking about like Louis Pasaglia playing to 48 years of age. Shaun White, might do the same. He thinks, as long as my body holds up, I'll keep playing. Being a BC native himself, I think that's awesome. It's special when that happens, those sorts of things,
Oh, and Castillo isn't that old. Isn't he like 35, 36?
Oh, I don't think he's that old, is he?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah.
See if somebody can beat me to it on the live chat. I'm going to look it up. Sergio Castillo. He's 33. He's only 33.
Yeah.
Sergio Castillo.
Yeah, that's right. Castillo is money. Schnitzy, you got a game ball. I already handed out a couple. I think I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I got one more game ball. And again, it's going to go to the Riders. But you know what? The Riders deserve the awards tonight because they lay the boots to the Bombers. I'm sorry. I didn't see enough from any of the Bombers to give any game balls out aside from Castillo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sorry. I know I'm like a diehard bleeding blue and gold, blue and gold till I'm dead and cold guy, Darrin. I'm biased.
Put it
But
on a t-shirt.
yeah, I'm biased, but I have to be somewhat objective tonight. And I have to give a game ball to 𝘎𝙥𝙧𝙯.
Nice.
Comes like this was incredible. If I'm a Rider fan, I'm just loving this because first of all, is he Canadian? I forget. 𝘎𝙧𝙧.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's from Sherwood Park, Alberta.
That's incredible. So that's even more awesome. So the Schaefer Baker was basically the Riders' entire offense in the first quarter. Roughriders lunch. Right? Like Schaefer Baker was the Riders' pretty much their only receiver in the first quarter. He goes down with injury. 𝘎𝙧𝙧 comes off the bench in the second half, Darrin, and has 110 receiving yards.
Yeah.
And he made some catches on some good halfbacks. He made a catch on Dietrich Nichols. He made one on Evan Holm. Like these are all-stars. These are incredible halfbacks in this league. Those two are probably top 10 at least.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure for sure Dietrich Nichols is in the top 3, but I think almost definitely in the top 10. 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙯 was killing it, and he's big,
Real
big,
big.
strong guy. He just looks very athletic. If I'm a Rider fan, I'm extremely excited about this guy.
Yeah.
So he gets a
2024
game ball
draft
from
pick.
me, buddy.
Yeah, I like it. 2024 draft pick, 𝘎𝙤𝙯.
Yeah.
Just wanted to play this because we hadn't got to it yet. This was the touchdown drive capper for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, broken down here by Glenn Suter on the teleprompter. And this was just a great play fake that made everybody bite. Everybody bite. Run.
Yeah, that was a great
Winnipeg's,
play call.
look at Winnipeg's defensive coverage here. They just let the tight end, this is right here. They just let the tight end free because they're thinking run or swing pass to the flat.
This is on a touchdown pass.
That's right. Wide open. Sometimes it's great game planning, great scheming, great play calling, great execution by the opponent. It's not always a mistake. I think sometimes fans will get into the headspace of the Bombers blew it on that play. Maybe the other team did something really good. Sometimes that happens. It's not always the case. Sometimes. You got any final
I think
thoughts?
that's
Go.
no.
Sorry,
I
go
think
ahead. Yeah.
well, no. I just think that's a really good point, right? Like sometimes something is schemed up really, really well, and like it's hard to defend when your fullback is playing tight end, who then runs into the end zone untouched. I mean, that's pretty hard to defend if you don't know what's coming. And I think Mark Mueller, who's the offensive coordinator for the Riders, is doing an incredible job with a
Yeah.
backup quarterback. I mean,
Look,
some
I would
right?
take Patterson over any other number 2 in the league.
Yeah.
Name me a better backup quarterback. Don't say Chris Streveler.
I was just thinking, what's gonna happen to Darren's head if I say Chris Trevor? Is it gonna explode all over the
I'm gonna
screen?
jump into that fake fire behind me there. That's what's
uh, yeah, Roy Shroud, you're saying that wasn't blown coverage, really? I mean, I guess it was blown coverage,
It was
but
a
the
play fake.
scheme,
Like
it was
coverage.
schemed up super well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like technically blown coverage because he went uncovered, but it's a play fake and they bit.
Yeah.
Right. Really well done. I mean, criticism abound for Bomber fans tonight, and rightfully so. The team is not in a good spot right now, but we'll see how the rest of the way goes. The Toronto Argonauts are, a pretty good football team, but a beatable football team. It's not like their home field advantage will be similar to Mosaic Stadium for the Roughriders. BMO, much more friendly confines for visiting teams. Daryl Brandel jumping in late. Hey guys, such a winnable game, and I really thought all week we were going to win it. So disappointing. I thought the Bombers were going to win today too. I picked them to win. Nowhere official though, but it is surprising with where Winnipeg is right now. That's my final thought right now. I'm incredibly surprised that Winnipeg is playing this poorly. You can lose football games, but Winnipeg is losing football games right now. 9 points. Yeah. It stinks.
Yeah,
terrible.
It is. But my final thought, TB, is that's I think why I was so pissed off about this game, because this was a real statement game for the Bombers, right? They lost 4 in a row. They lost some close ones. They win 2 in a row. The momentum is going. Teams are starting to wonder. People in the CFL are starting to wonder, are the Bombers back? Is Zach back? And the question is not yet. Zach isn't back yet. The Bombers aren't back yet. And to go from 2-4 to 2-5 instead of 3-4, and to be only one game behind the Riders, that's a massive, massive swing. That is a massive, massive swing in the standings. And I'm not saying the Bombers are done, because it's still early in the season,
They
right?
got to go
And
7-2 to finish 9-9
do they have to go 7-2? Yeah, I guess they do.
or
Holy.
2-5.
So they're probably gonna, they're probably not gonna go 7-2 at this point. They play BC a couple more times. They play the Riders a couple more times.
Like,
Although they do get to play Edmonton. Although I don't think Edmonton is all that bad. But yeah, this loss really stings. I thought they were going to win this game. You thought they were going to. Many people thought they were going to win this game. Rookie right tackle, backup quarterback. I thought this Saskatchewan team was gettable, and they just didn't show up tonight in the way they need to show up, and it hurts. It stings, buddy. It
Winnipeg
really, and I don't know if they can come back from it.
I just want to draw attention to this. Here's the West Division standings. The Blue Bombers, 7 games played, more than any other team. They haven't had a bye yet. They scored 149 points. Okay. Edmonton's scoring more points per game. Calgary is scoring more points per game. Obviously, Saskatchewan and BC are scoring more points per game. Going over to the East, 149 points the Bombers have scored this year, okay, in 7 games. Montreal's scoring more, of course. Ottawa is scoring more points per game. Toronto scoring more points per game. Only the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Well, wait, hang on a second. Hamilton's played 5 games and they've scored 124 points. So 25 points in 2 more games. Hamilton would have to just score like 12, 13 points a game their next 2 games, and they would have the same amount of points as the Blue Bombers in 7 games this season. Plain and simple, the offense is the problem. Collaros, Schoen, Lawler, Oliveira, those 4 individuals are amongst the highest paid players in the CFL. And the only reason I'm bringing up salary now, Schnitzy, not to go against my own thing, the reason I'm saying that is that the Blue Bombers had invested in their offense. Quarterbacks aside, okay? Highest paid receiver, highest paid running back. I think Gino Lewis might make the same amount, like, as much as or maybe a little bit more than Lawler and Schoen. But Oliveira's getting paid. All those guys are getting paid. The Blue Bombers invested on offense, and they're one of the worst offenses in the CFL. That's it.
Sad but true, buddy. I can't argue with you there. Right now, they are one of the worst in the CFL. And, you can blame it on injuries to Schoen and Lawler and maybe some newer guys on the offensive line. But, yeah, they've got to pick it up.
Just got a text from Farhan, good friend. Says, I need to work on my math with a winky emoji.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't catch it, but I've seen in the chat you said they had to go 7-2 to get 9-9. They have to go 7-4.
Right. Right.
But I didn't catch it either.
I was more looking at like the points per game. It's like, yeah, it's 20, 25. Yeah, anyway, it's 1 a.m. here in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
it's only midnight in Regina though, so.
Oh, that's
see it Victoria's.
What do
Tavern.
They have daylight savings time, and we have.
No, we have daylight savings time. They do not.
What do they have? What do they have?
They
Nothing?
forego daylight savings. They just stay at the same time all year long, which is how the rest of the world should be. Just saying.
Yeah, they have something right, eh?
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I failed to mention our good friends at Pure Lifestyle. They are Winnipeg's premier proactive healthcare facility. beautiful gym, strength and conditioning, occupational health, wellness, medical, brand new walk-in clinic for minor injuries, stitches, in-house x-ray. They got you covered, and we'll get you back to enjoying summer in no time. You can find them online at purewinnipeg.com and give them a call, 338-PURE, 338-226, or oh, I got that number wrong, 338-PURE. They're at 1129 Empress Street, and a new location for physiotherapy on Pembina Highway as well. Again, you can find them online at purewinnipeg.com. Big thanks to them. I'm repping. They're my go-to spot for all types of healthcare needs: physical, mental, occupational health, physiotherapy, the gym. They're awesome. Go check them out.
I like that mug. That's sharp.
Yeah, it's a nice one, eh? Yeah, I don't know about the color though. Well, no, I do know. This is Sea Bears blue.
There you go. Catch DB. 2 Sea Bear games left, eh? 2 home games left.
Yeah, Teddy Allen coming back to town tomorrow.
Oh boy, that should be exciting.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't smash the like button, as they say. Okay, everybody. Appreciate you all joining us in the live chat and watching live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And we'll try to get the Twitter streams up next time. But hey, Scott Greensleeves, I can't pull the comment up on screen, but mentioning joining the live chat on Instagram. The whole team is not playing with the same fire or passion that we've become accustomed to, says Scott Greensleeves on Instagram. Agreed. Well put. And I think that kind of encapsulates it right now. Something is missing. But they got to play better on offense. That's all I'm saying, Schnitzy.
Yep. I think we can leave it there, buddy. They gotta be better on offense.
Yes, sir. We will do this again next week. The Bombers are in Toronto on Saturday, July 27th. My goodness, we're already in late July. Can you believe that? So we will do pregame coverage, as always, Game Day Winnipeg with myself and Chris Walby, Friday at 3 o'clock, and then Saturday postgame right back here on Bonfire Sports with Game Day After Dark. Final word to you, my friend. As always, wishing you and your family all the health and happiness coming your way.
Thanks, buddy. Great to see everybody tonight, and sayonara.